and I didn't do a countdown, but
We're here.
it's halftime. We don't have too much time to mess around. So we're coming up on halftime is getting ready to start. Right now we got 23-14. Wolverines are up. So I will kick it to you, my friend. How are you feeling? It's we
Um,
both called a pretty close game, and right now Michigan with almost 10-point lead, but it's a two-score game. How you feel?
to be honest with you, I mean, Michigan has 333 total yards. I mean, K. McNamara is thrown for 230. I couldn't offensively, I couldn't be more pleased. And to be quite frank with you, from a total gains standpoint, Michigan's actually, I think Michigan has hurt themselves more than MSU has beaten them. Besides two drives, I actually believe Michigan dominated in totality. I think Michigan dominated that first half. I mean, I think they dropped some opportunities to score touchdowns and to kick field goals. I'm very very pleased with the first half performance so far, and I believe that uh, if Mike McDaniel is able to get into halftime, you know, and come up with some kind of game plan where, look, we can't do mass substitutions anymore. They're catching us off guard every time, and if they can eliminate that avenue for the Spartans to take advantage of, catching guys out of position, catching Michigan, doing substitutions and running up tempo, then Michigan should, take control of this game in the second half, based on the way the first half went. But I'm very, very pleased, Desmond. One thing that we've been saying and had question marks about was, could Cade win the game for Michigan? And I got to say, man, based on that first half, he absolutely can. And you know what? JJ uh, came in and did a really good job too. I mean, to come in and with that on that play action rollout, that was a beautiful touch pass he threw to Andrell Anthony, a freshman. Who is this kid, man? And you talking about a kid coming out there and I'm sure we didn't know who he was, and now it looks like MSU didn't know who this kid was, right? And he is playing the game of his life, and I don't think it's by fluke. I mean, from that first play catch he took for 93 yards, man, that is speed for you. That's huge to see, especially after the loss of Ronnie Bell. That maybe we found ourselves a hidden gem here. So really good first half. I actually thought they had a few missed opportunities, but they have a chance. I feel like the Spartans are almost kind of life support right now. They can get if Michigan can get them one more good haymaker punch. To think about, Peyton Thorne's already had two turnovers, right?
Yeah.
And it should have three. To be honest with you, we can debate if that was a fumble or not. I think it was. If I remove my Michigan goggles off a little bit, I think it was close. The only thing I would say in favor of Michigan was, if you're going to overturn a call, it has to be conclusive evidence to show that, right? And I don't believe that any angle was necessarily conclusive. I thought it was really, really close. So the play should have stood, and Michigan should have went up two touchdowns. But it is what it is. You got to rise above. You're on the road. You're playing really well. Keep it up.
Yeah, I think it was not clear. It was not undisputable to overturn the strip sack and the touchdown. So I do think that was a bad call. But the Michigan, I think, is playing extremely well. I think the defense is playing well, really outside of two plays. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They've played well. They've gotten pressure on Thorne. Aiden is wreaking havoc as we knew he would. Jabo is playing well. Like Morris, with an
Yeah.
interception. I mean,
Yeah.
the defense is playing like their hair is on fire.
They
Like
really
they
are.
are, and
Hmm.
I tweeted it, but pre-game they had a couple of the guys were around Aiden Hutchinson, and they were, kind of talking or whatever, and he, they had him, they had a camera or a microphone pretty close to him, and he was pretty excited and pretty hyped, and said that they can't, what with us. And in the ESPN, guys, I think it was Herb Street was like, yeah, sorry for the, because he dropped an F bomb. He's like, sorry for the,
Oh, let it
for
fly.
the comment, but is what it is. And I tweeted him like, it doesn't matter whether Michigan wins or loses. Like for Aiden to say that, I'm like, that is the mindset you have to have when
I don't
you're
want to hear
coming
that,
to a game
Desmond. It
like
does
this.
matter. Michigan needs to
Like,
win. It doesn't matter if they win or lose, but I want to hear
but
on
the
it. I
thing
know what you're trying to say.
that's the mindset you got to
Yes.
have especially as a leader on the team. So
Yeah.
they've been playing lights out. You'd love to have the Blake Corum drop. You'd love to have that back. That
was
that
six.
was a
That was
disaster of a drop.
That was six.
That was a touchdown. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a touchdown that he dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State, and you could tell with the fourth down play calling that they've had that they are on, like you mentioned, they're on life support. But the tough part is if I am Mel Tucker, going into halftime, I'm telling my team, guys, we have 2 turnovers, they have none, and we're down by 9 points. Like that's how, you know what I mean? That's how, if you're on the flip side of it, that's what you're thinking. For Michigan, I mean, you've played well. Like this is the game that you would have wanted to play.
Absolutely.
If the one criticism I would have is the third down calls, the 2 third down calls that you've had that ended up turning into field goals. Granted, it's 6 points, so you're not going to be upset about it. But I think if you're a little more aggressive on those third downs, you potentially are trying to march in for touchdowns. So let's take the 2 possessions, and instead of you kicking 2 field goals, if you get 2 touchdowns there, this game's probably over by this point.
Yeah.
The game is over. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, so that's the thing. But like I said, you're not going to be upset with a 9-point, lead going into halftime on the road. A lot of things are, you look at that call, the strip sack call that probably should have been a touchdown. You look at that. I mean, if that goes your way, who knows? You may have time for another score because you get the ball with, I mean, you score a touchdown at that point. You're up 27-14 if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And you're kicking it back to them. Who's to say they don't go, 3 and out and you get the ball back and get a field goal, So it's interesting, man. But if you're Michigan, I'm not sure you could ask for anything better, as far as where they're at right now.
Yeah, the score is not even indicative to me of the true first half. I actually think, and I said it earlier for people, and thanks for joining for people who are just joining, that Michigan should be up even more. They really dominated this first half. To Tank B's question, what you got to say about the passing game? I think it's been fantastic. This has been the best performance by Cade McNamara by far this entire season. He looks composed. He's as long as his feet are set, he's making the right decisions. His throws are on the mark for the most part. If I was to critique anything, and this is more of a coaching up point I'm sure Harbaugh is going to address with him in halftime. When you get an offsides call, just take the shot downfield.
Take a shot.
You gotta take the shot.
That's
especially the way the pass the game, guys have confidence right now are going. You just never know, right? You take that shot, it's a 50-50, right? So, but other than that, man, K's been absolutely fabulous. He's been fantastic. And there's not much you can say. And he's been so good and then JJ comes in, he makes that beautiful throw. I mean, we're all excited about the future of JJ McCarthy, but look, K is playing fantastic. He is winning this football game. We told you guys, as expected, we weren't just going to gas Michigan State on the run. And they have not allowed Michigan to really gas them. We had a few plays. I think Hassan Haskins broke one out maybe for about 15, 20 yards. But for the most part, they've been pretty stingy with keeping our running game limited. And that's why we talk about the importance of being balanced when we've had to be balanced. And to their credit, they have proven that thus far in the first half. But look, best believe you can tell. I think we all can feel it. And Desmond, I know you can too. MSU is really, really close to breaking. They're really, really close. I believe
you got to do it. Like they're not going to break on their own. You
got to take it. You're so close. And best believe they feel like, oh, good. Thank God they overturned that call. I believe that Peyton Thorne is like, I've already made 2 turnovers. I almost had 3. That defense is getting to him. I don't believe that's hyperbole. You're close. Michigan's real close. But the way this second half starts off, and they starts off right for Michigan. I believe Michigan kicked the ball off, if I'm not mistaken. I think so.
I was trying to think about that too, of who got the ball first.
Guys, help us out. Did Michigan? I think Michigan deferred, right? Didn't they kick it?
I feel like we saw Kenneth Walker
pretty sure they deferred. So if Michigan gets the ball in the first start the second half,
Hmm.
it will be ideal. Ideal. Get in the
I
end
miss.
zone. Thank you.
Yep.
Get in the end zone, punch it in, and maybe get a stop. You're gonna put your stranglehold on these guys. And
And
you
the
know,
and the thing is
yeah,
too is I had tweeted as well that maybe it was a good thing that Gaddis didn't get a chance to do his first 15 plays,
yeah,
because Michigan got the ball, I think, at their literally inch yard line or 2 yard line. You get a false start, I believe, so you had to move back.
absolutely.
But at that point, it's like, okay, my first 15 is out the window, because you can't do that. You're in a tough situation. But the thing is too is if I'm Josh Gaddis, I'm taking what I would think is my best 15 plays, and I'm probably running that the second half to
Yeah,
start off. So
absolutely.
when I get the ball, it's going to be a very calculated drive, to where I'm hoping we're going to give them a lot of different looks. We're going to do a lot of different things, keep them off balance, and like you said, the goal has got to be to score a touchdown on this drive. You
Yeah,
can the one here's the one thing you can't do: go 3-and-out on this drive.
no,
You cannot do that. Even if on the first play you throw it for 11 yards, and then the next 2 or 3 plays, then you punt it right after that, like the next 3 plays you don't get 10 yards and you got to punt. I think I can live with that, but you just cannot come out here with all of this momentum you're going into the
yeah,
locker room with, and coming out in the second half and go 3-and-out, because one of the things you're going to do is get that crowd back into the game, which the crowd is into the game.
yeah.
Michigan State, if you're a Michigan State fan, you should be absolutely proud of the atmosphere that your fans
They're
are
stunned
there
right now,
creating
though, and
today.
you can feel it. Like everyone, you can
Yes.
feel the energy. They're stunned right now, and when that strip sack happened, you can hear a pin drop. They're stunned right now, and that's like basically MSU right now is staggering. They've taken a lot of punches, and they fought back, right? And they was on top for a little bit. They're staggering right now, and I can't stress that enough. When you
Yep.
smell blood in the water, you have to attack Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
and you just and get and really knock these guys out. Because look, Mel Tucker is not going. He's not going to allow those guys to quit. He's going to make sure
Mm-hmm.
he says say whatever he has to say, and they're going to come out with the right mentality in the second half. But it's up
Mm-hmm.
to Michigan to just take them out their misery and let's do a complete game. But I'm very proud of the way they played thus far. You can't draw it up any better for the most part. So, yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
and
yeah,
like I said, what we talked about at the beginning of the stream was, if you're Mel Tucker, you're telling your team, like, a turnover is good for anywhere from 3 to 7 points.
right,
We've got two of them in this game. And we haven't forced a single one, and we're only down by 9. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, that's going to be his messaging of, guys, we come out and play mistake-free football. Who knows what this game looks like? And
mhm.
it's still close. But Adam posed a question. It says, why hasn't Anthony been getting more reps at receiver this year?
He's a true freshman,
Um,
isn't he? I think I heard he was a
yeah,
true
he's a
freshman.
young guy, and a lot of times, especially when you're a freshman, like it truly takes time to understand the intricacies of formations and plays and concepts. Like it's a lot to grasp.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's just that the Michigan staff has overlooked some talent or anything
Right.
like that. It just it's so much more than, hey, you line up right here and just run down the field, run past the guy. Like, there's just a lot that goes into it. So I mean, he's been phenomenal this game. I mean, that throw and catch, like, on that 93-yard touchdown, was just unreal. I mean, Cade put it out. I mean, he barely had to really do anything to catch the ball. Like, it was
Yeah.
just literally plastered on his on his chest. He just catches it and runs. So and then on the other touchdown, I mean, he's got, I think it was 3 catches for 125 and 2 touchdowns, which is unreal.
Yeah.
But on that touchdown, for him to just go up and get that ball, man, that's a receiver that you see who's hungry for the football, wants to go and get it, and does just that.
I
So
mean,
it's
it's
been, man,
great. I mean, he's the but I know it's one game, but just from I mean, from the speed to the ability to high point the football, he looks like the best option today, at least. I mean, he looks fantastic. He's a fluid athlete. I mean, you just can't fake that stuff. That was a great throw by Cade on on the 93-yard touchdown, but you can't fake speed, man.
correct.
And that's huge. And best believe now that's why it's everything opens up. now State's defense, they have to account for the way Michigan came out and passed the ball. Right, that's talking about balance. Now, potentially, this may open up some lanes for Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins to break a couple. Right, so that's why we always harped on balance and the importance of it. And so, look, there's a chance. Don't be surprised, guys, if Michigan's able to run the football a little bit more effectively. And now the beauty of being up is that you want to continue to be aggressive, but you also can run the football and really utilize your strength. Now you can just wear on them and wear on them and wear on them till they break. So that's why I think it's important. Go ahead.
And another underrated part of that is the confidence that Cade has now, because we've talked about it of going long stretches without throwing the ball and just it not going well early on. For it to go well early on, like, you now have got a quarterback in number 12 and number 9 that no matter who comes in the game is confident. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, man, I've been off these last couple of throws. It's not. No, I've been dialed in. I hope we throw it next play. I hope the next play call goes downfield because I'm on fire right now. Like, whether you're Cade or JJ, like,
he doesn't want to come out. Like, so those tactics, he don't want to come out. You can tell, Cade. Like, I'm balling right now. Don't. And I said it to you. It's ironic. I text this. It's ironically right before the JJ right before the JJ McCarthy roll up pass touchdown to Anthony. I'm like, why are we? Can you please ditch the JJ package once we get in the red zone? It's not working. Up to that point, it was not working. And to their credit, they added a wrinkle. And it wasn't just the RPO, him handing the ball off. They allowed JJ to roll it out. Michigan State wasn't expecting it, and he threw it. So that was great to see. But, yeah, I mean, Cade, it's one of those games where, look, if you want to keep that package for JJ in the red zone, fine. But the way Cade's playing today, man, like, don't take him out unnecessarily. He's rolling. He's in the rhythm. Let him go.
Yeah, and we talked about it, too. And I think part of it is too, we talked about it early on in the season where it's just like, part of it is you got to keep the young star happy too, like, so he just needs some reps. Like, as much as I would like for Cade to be in this zone right now, like, I wouldn't sub him out, but I do get the mindset of putting in JJ because you got to keep this guy happy. Like, of course he's going to be happy. He does seem like a team guy of like, hey, we beat a huge rival, like, this is awesome. But also too, like, there may be a part in the back of his mind, even though he's not communicating it, that like, I want to play, like, I want to get in this game too, like, so I do get it. And he performs well. Like, he's a 5-star kid, so the moment's not too big for him. Like, he's someone that's dialed in. So it's just, I mean, it's going well for Michigan. Like I said, it's outside of 2 plays defensively, I mean, you're locking Michigan State down. So it's going well. One Scoop John, shout out to you. Charles Woodson liked this tweet. That's pretty awesome. I think that's really cool.
Best play in Michigan football history. Sorry, that's just my opinion.
True. I don't think anyone's gonna argue
with that. That's probably
like it's controversial. Hot take. Charles Woodson, the best player ever for Michigan. Like, oh no, I'm gonna battle you.
Man.
I got it.
No,
so yeah, no, it's. I think the first drive on both sides of the ball is gonna be huge. If you're Michigan, if you can come out, score, and I believe that they get the ball. So if they get the ball, like I said, like, take your time with this drive, because if you can get 7, you could potentially end this game right now.
Yeah. If
you can come out and get 7, I truly feel that way. You can come out and potentially end this game in the first drive of the third quarter, and then for Mike McDonald, come back and just get to that point to where if you can get a 3-and-out or force a punt. I mean, man, you're in the catbird seat. I mean, we both predicted a Michigan win, but we predicted a close game.
Yeah.
And it could get ugly. I mean, if you're able
turnovers,
to come out 4-7, get a 3-and-out on defense, you could make this game ugly.
Yeah. And turnovers, and that's, and I think I brought up, Peyton Thorne, he's turned the ball over the last couple of weeks, against Indiana. And so
what I will say is we had a Michigan State fan, and I don't know the name, but they had commented on our live on Wednesday about because that's what you said. You said, Thorne has been, susceptible to turnovers, and their, response is like, what have you been watching? Blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, well,
lately.
Here we got.
Lately.
We've been watching your guy.
Yeah, your guy, and he's, he look, one, the first one was he took a shot down the field, overthrew the guy, we made a good
That was
play.
a terrible decision. His first one was a terrible
Terrible decision.
decision.
The second one was a tip pass, that happens, but that's still on the quarterback. You
Correct.
gotta be careful with your passing lanes, right?
Mhm.
So and look, he's already had two, probably three. He heads up play by him to at least, because Ajabo really had a good strip on him to at least somewhat keep the ball under control. But you cannot tell me, in the game's ready to start, second half's about to start, you can't tell me that that's not in his head. Because we said that too. Because MSU likes to take shots down the field, you need time, and
Yep.
that goes against with what Michigan does well, which is they create havoc in the backfield. So this is all setting up for a good second half, guys. But we got to throw out the knockout punch. Don't get MSU any more life.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah. So we'll see how the second half goes. Guys, please join us for the post game. It'll be in probably an hour and a half. So, appreciate you guys for checking us out. I think we had up to 80 or so people on the channel. We're at about 60 now. So appreciate you guys so much. And like I said, we'll be here right after the game. So just go ahead and click on the reminder. There's a little button you can hit to that once we go live, you get a notification. So appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. And Drizzy Dre, I will see you after the game, my friend.
See you soon.
Peace.